I've been wrapping vehicles for around about 15 years. I've been in the trade for 20 years. It was something I was always interested in. I've always been in the sign and vehicle graphics industry. And from there, when vehicle wrapping first came out, I was very interested to find out how these materials worked and how they conformed around such tight, intricate parts which normal material can't do. So as soon as I had an opportunity to find out, I went straight in a long time ago and got into it, and soon learned that the material is very good and it takes a lot of stick. It will take a lot of repositioning, no problem. You put it in, you stretch it, you contract it, you keep going, and find out it's very easy to work with. The neater you are, the more you take time, the better the finish you're always going to get. I look at a car and I look at the swage lines and the lines that follow the car, and I try and complement them. Sometimes I just get a bit more creative. Sometimes I do have a plan and I do lay it all out, and sometimes I even will do it on computer. You're always learning. There'll be some cars that catch you out. Some cars, like the door handles on this vehicle for instance, is very similar to most vehicles, very easy to remove. Try not to cut corners and cut round door handles. Always try to remove them. Usually it's just a screw in the door. Open the door and you see a little hole in there. It's usually just a screw. Open that up and then the door handle should come off relatively easy. There are a few that give you a bit more challenging times and you have to remove the whole door card, but it all contributes to a much better finish. The most difficult job I can remember doing it, and it wasn't really the wrap itself, it was more of the stripping down of a vehicle, because the more you take off, the neater the finish you're going to get. And it was a Bentley Continental, and to take everything off, you have to take the glass out to get the door handles off, the wing mirror comes off the door. Removal of all them parts was very challenging. But once it was off, the actual wrap, no problem. I used KPMF, various different colours of the wrap product, and it was very easy to install. It's so forgiving, it's air-free, so no bubbles, and it's a very generous air-free as well, so even larger bubbles you can remove fairly easily. Any creases, a little bit of heat will come straight out and it'll be nice and neat and clean again. It's quite repositional, it's got a good adhesive on it. Always ensure you post-heat in any deep recesses to 100 to 120 degrees, and that will lose its memory and it will always stay tight and never release in any decent deep recessed areas. This wrap material is completely dry apply only. You could apply it wet, but there's no benefit to it. It would just make the job a lot longer to install. So always apply this material. It's dry, it's made so it's easy to install. You can wash it as many times as you like. It is made for a long life. I think there was a 5-year warranty on the product. I've installed things much older and they're still on, but there is just a 5-year warranty on the actual material itself, but it will last longer if installed correctly. I used various tools, all supplied by WEMATEC, different types of squeegees with a felt fabric sleeve on, which makes it glide on the material quite nice. Obviously the knifeless tape, which I designed everything with, no pre-cutting, everything was done with knifeless tape, very easy to use as well, and everything else just your standard blades and cutting materials and a heat gun. It's very inexpensive to start up. The temperature gauge I used at the end was for post-heating. It's just to make sure around the arches where there's a recess, I don't want that to lift up. So if you post-heat them areas to 100, 120, then it will stay deep in them recesses and never release. It will stay down. So post-heating is very important. I love my job. It's very, very rewarding. Sometimes Sometimes you do this thing same over and over again, and that can get a little bit monotonous, but when you get a project that you're allowed to be creative with, it's so enjoyable and so satisfying. Even the standard stuff can be very satisfying when you see the end product and you see what it looks like. So yeah, I do enjoy my job. It's not difficult. Go for it. Get your materials, get your tools, let your imagination flow, and just try. And you'll soon realise what looks good and what doesn't look so good. And just keep going, keep going. The material's relatively affordable, so just keep going and don't be afraid to make a mistake. You can just do it again, and yes, it's not that difficult. Give it a go, try.